Hello and welcome back to Haven and Hearth. As you can see, I've moved some stuff into our new house here. I, of course, have my little sleeping mat so that I can, log out and log back in inside the house. We've got our table in here and a chair to go with it. And, of course, the study desk, all nice and propped up in here. Speaking of the said study desk, we are up over 8,000 learning points, so the first thing we're going to do here is grab first aid. First aid by... there we go. We now have the first aid skill, which should, theoretically, there we go, have unlocked Willow Weep. We're going to get to that pretty darn soon. Oh, that's used for concussions as well, so if we get knocked out, that's useful. Good, good. Good. Okay, we'll get to that shortly. I brought one of the baskets in because it had some of the stuff in it. A little important, not super important, but a little important. I kind of filled this up. So this here is brimstone. Because while I was out walking around, just basically making sure I had enough materials and stuff, and trying to get some food because my energy is low. I came across the geyser, and more importantly, it was ready to, to give the brimstone. So since I was there, I took it. We'll step outside. Oh, I guess somebody must have killed one of the quest givers. Okay. That happens sometimes if you cut down the wrong tree or chip the wrong stone. That's fine. I don't particularly care about that too much. Okay, yeah, we still are studying that toy chariot, aren't we? Let's see. That's the wrong thing. I wanted that. Yeah, we're most of the way through the toy chariot, but we're still working on a bunch of this stuff. I will get to spending the rest of those points shortly, but I wanted to show off our completed palisade. I spent a few hours after, recording to complete the palisade. All of it was just more of the same, and this way it's had some additional dry time. I think it takes 3 days to dry, which means it is currently still vulnerable, but by the time the video before I even started it goes up, it should be fine. We, of course, have some harvest ready. Let's grab this really quick. Beautiful. We will replant just that little 4 square, I think. There we go. We're trying to get that to go up. What is this? Let's see. Let's grab that. Is there anything? Oh, there is. It's plus will. Alright, not super important. I'm going to go ahead and stockpile this. Just right there. That'll do. As you can see, I have another stockpile here and some additional stuff planted. This is wild onions, which I also just found while I was out and about. I found a whole bunch of them, though. So I grabbed everything that was there and brought it back, and we'll do that. Speaking of onions, I've got lots of speaking ofs today. The windsown weed dried out into a red onion. So we'll be able to go ahead and plant that. Oh, we've discovered it. That is still growing. See, unfortunately, the growing thing is going to take a while. Let's go ahead and... yeah, right there. We'll just pop it right there. Beautiful. Alright. Let me pull up the map, and we will go down. And it was kind of... where was it exactly? I want to say the geyser was like right here next to this settlement type thing. I might want to go back there because I didn't look too close. It looked like it was still in use, but that's questionable. So I'm gonna want to head back there, take a look around at some point. Of course, I do want to head back up north to the large settlement there, see about looting some more stuff. Oh, our cart is here. Let's pull it kind of out here where we can see it a little better. It still has some of those logs in it because I did not quite use up the last batch that I grabbed. What else do we got? What else? Alright, so obviously I haven't finished cleaning up everything, but I have left things in a state where it is going to be much easier to clean up. That is kind of the long and short of it. I feel like we are just about ready to move on. That is a hide. How am I looking here? It is just a blunt trauma. I do feel like having an additional stinging poultice ready might be a good idea. I don't think I have the stuff for it, though. I'll leave it be for the time being because I am going to need food sooner rather than later. We'll just, I had been splitting this up by food and not food, but I'll just stick that there and stick the squirrel tail in there. Yeah, we can do that for now. Okay. So what are we doing today? Now that I'm already like 6 minutes into the video. Just catching you up on what I did in between. Okay. We're going to need to make our willow weep. That is obvious. We are also going to want to start working on food, which means we will need more clay because I want to build an oven. Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea. Get the oven built. That way I can start using some of these wheat seeds to turn into flour, to turn into the various baked goods. That sounds right. Okay, so let's take a look at our character sheet. Head over to here. Do I have baking? Baking. Right there, 350. It's not a big buy. There we go. We now have baking unlocked. Good. So we're going to need bricks. Lots and lots of bricks. I haven't discovered bricks yet, so I can't see how many. That's fine. One other thing we need a fire pit. Where am I going to do this? That becomes the question. Where do I want to set this up? Because a lot of this stuff can't be moved and is going to be difficult, to replace. So, where do I want to do my cooking? I mean, I've already got the cauldron there, which is used for a bunch of the cooking stuff. But I can pick up the cauldron and move it. I can't pick up and move a fire pit or an oven. Do I want to do it up against the house? Maybe? You know what? Let's move this. We're just going to kind of move this over here because, I just need it out of the way. That's that. That is just good enough to want to keep, but not the best I can get. Grab that. This is all 13s. That's fine. I'll just kind of stick that over there. Call it good. Okay. I think, because this area is actually flat and slightly separated. I mean, if I need to get from over here to, over here, I can go around. So I think maybe I'll make this little segment here that looks like it's supposed to be road into a cooking area. I've already got the quern there. Yeah, this seems like a good idea. Okay. Now, we're going to start with a fire pit. The fireplace, as it calls it. 10 stone. There is something important about this, however. Let me go ahead and just chip a little bit of stone. The direction that the sign is facing when you do the fireplace is directly going to affect the direction that the roasting spit you put over it faces. And it basically, you can't adjust the spit, you can only place the fireplace. So I want to make it so that the handle end of the spit is accessible, which basically means I need to keep the sides of the sign unblocked, because I don't know which side it is, but it is one of the two sides. so let's get this going. If we can. And basically, the fireplace here is basically just a more permanent fire. It's not going to constantly be on fire, but all you need to do is reload it with stuff. You know, reload it with fuel, and it'll be ready. All right, so there's our 10 stone. I think I'm going to put this right on the corner, because that way it is going to be most easily accessible. I will do it from this side, so I think that means... Yes, that will put it this way. So here or here will be the spot where the handle ends up, which should make it accessible. So let's get this built. Okay. There we go. There's that. Now, do we have the stuff for a spit? Now, that's under craft, I think, because it's considered... Is it a tool? Cooking? Yes. It's okay. Roasting spit, 2 string, 3 blocks, 4 sticks. And the quality of it doesn't really matter. I don't think the quality is affected by anything. So we can use pretty much any old blocks. How many blocks was it? 3? 3. 3 and 4 sticks. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab one of these out. And I'm going to chop 4 blocks. Oop, that's only 3. There we go. Alright, I will split one of them. And now we just need some string. Just need some string. I've been going through so much string. Okay. Am I going to use the hemp? I might, because dang do I need food. How much is it? 2? I can use 2. I can use 2. Feels like a waste, but we will eventually be there again. I should have just clicked craft. Alright. Here we go. We have 1 folded roasting spit. And we could just place it. Okay, so it did it opposite. So it is the face of the sign has the handle. Got it. Okay. Important to note. Important. Okay. So, let's see. It's bringing up this beginning of the firecraft thing. Light the fireplace, spit roast any gutted animal, produce any pit-baked food. Which we don't necessarily need to use the fireplace for. But, pit-based food. Do I have that stuff here? That's under wild grub. Yeah, we don't have that yet. Because we haven't discovered any leaves, I believe. That's the problem. All of the pit-based baked foods are wrapped in leaves. So we are going to need to go and pick some leaves from a tree that has leaves available. Which, not all of them do. Off the top of my head, there are conkers, maple, and mulberry have leaves available. Alright, you know what? I'm going to also do my best attempt at catching one of these chickens. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Alright, good. You are going to be our first example. Right, so I need to just discover... Is this a maple? No, that's a chestnut tree. Maples look somewhat similar to that, though. What do we got? Crabapple, white beam, gray alder, rowan, cherry, tenebreth, sallow, rowan, sallow, chaste, checker, willow, beech. I know I saw at least some conkers around. Plum, willow, beech, rowan, willow, persimmon. Heath, load, beech. That's just... I'm gonna grab that, even though it might injure me. I'm gonna grab it anyway. Alright, crabapple, beech, son of a beech. Alright. We're just looking for one of the tree types that we can get leaves from. Bloat, willow, alder, rowan, sorb, willow, checker. I know I saw, at the very least, some conkers out here at one point. I think I saw maples as well. And I have a mulberry that I got from somewhere. So all of the 3 that I know should be out here. They just not might be here. Where are you? Yeah, this is all the same types of trees. I'm going to have to get into a different biome, I think. Oh, look, some more of that. The stinging nettle. Let's see. Alright, I'm going to search. And I will be right back as soon as I have found one of the compatible trees. Alright, I was heading up towards this other forest biome here, and I came across a clay pit that apparently has some clay. And since we're going to need a whole bunch of clay, you know, in order to do the whole thing with the oven, I figure it might be a good time to go ahead and collect some. Ooh, this is a little bit of an issue, though, because I still don't have a shovel. And this is going to take a while. Let me get at least the first piece. And then give some thought to this, because I think I might just be able to make a shovel fairly quick. Alright, we got that. Oh, shoot. It was starting to collect quick. I forgot it would do that. Alright, I was saying I was going to spend some of these points. Let's get a couple more points in masonry. Because, yeah, that's going to be a thing. Alright, so I forgot it is... Oh, that was actually all there was. Never mind. Oh, no, it got the third one. Okay. Only 3. Oopsie daisy. Let me just take a quick look at these trees here to see if any of them are the appropriate type. They do not appear to be. Nope. Unfortunate. Alright, we will be right back once again, because, holy crap, trying to find the right kind of tree is always a pain in the butt. So I said that, and then, like, 20 feet from where I was, here's a maple tree. Boop, maple. That is one of the ones we can use. Pick leaf. There we go, and that unlocked a whole bunch of stuff. We're just going to grab all these leaves. All the leaves we can. There we go. That's all the leaves that were available to us. You can see it unlocked cone gruel, which is strength and con food, as well as 2 of our pit-baked goods, fruit roast and nut jerky, which covers most of our attributes, but definitely not all of them. Dexterity is notably missing, as is Psyche, but, you know, so few things give Psyche. Ooh. I grabbed one of these before, but this is a clover. If you want to tame an animal, you know, one of the larger farm animals, you need clover. That is like the first step. Alright, so I think I saw a second clay pit as I was coming up here, like just to the south of this one. Yeah, down there. So let's go grab whatever clay might be available in this, and then Hearth back. Being aware that there is apparently some sort of weasel or something there. Okay. Collect the clay. It is going to take a while because I still do not have my shovel. I'm seriously going to need a shovel, but I kind of want to have a belt before I have a shovel, because the belt makes it so that you can store your tools in there and you will hot swap as needed. Come on. Little bit more. however much we've got here. And then... Oh, one. There was one piece. Okay, I don't think we'll be using the pit clay for our oven, because I know it takes way more than that. Alright, let's hearth back. I will see about trying to find some clay, maybe in the caverns. We'll go look. I know I got beat up in the caverns earlier, and that's why we need the willow weep, which I should really do first, shouldn't I? Alright, let's drop the pit clay there. Keep it nice and separate. We're going to make a big old pile of leaves. There we go. So that we got that out of the way. I am going to pluck the feathers of the chicken. We will clean the chicken. Alright, the feathers will go into the feather pile. The guts will go into the gut pile. And the chicken will go on the spit. There it is. Look at that little guy. Alright, now we just need to load that up and get the fire going. Chopping 2 blocks. Oop, I am going to need like 3. So, there we go. One gets split to have sticks. The fire pit, the fireplace as it gets called for whatever reason, has a maximum fuel capacity of 2 blocks. That was not what I intended. I wanted that to go in. That's fine. Okay. Bam. Fuel 10. That's basically 10 sticks, which each block turns into 5 sticks. We wasted a stick, but whatever. Alright. Now we do the super annoying task of getting the fire lit. And if the brand lasts long enough, I might go try and light the cauldron as well. But that's secondary. We want to get that going so that we can start the old roasted chicken. Because boy, are we hungry. Doop, doop, doo. Please last, please last, please last. Alright. Nope, okay, it didn't last long enough for that, but I wasn't really expecting it to. We did get the XP for lighting the fire, though, so that's good. That's a 300, so that doesn't happen very often. Let's go ahead. We're going to drink up to restore that, and we will give one shot to getting the cauldron lit, because unfortunately we are now down a stick. Otherwise I would have been able to try twice. Doop, doop, doo. Come on. Come on, baby, light my fire. No. And go. Good. Excellent. We actually got relatively lucky with the 2 fires. So that needs to come to a boil before we can make our willow weep. The food on a spit will, in fact, roast perfectly fine without me touching it. However, if I turn, here we go, it will cook faster. And there we go. Just like that, it's done. So let's go ahead and carve it. And we got 2 pieces of chicken when we normally would have only gotten 1. You get 1 additional piece of meat, but you lose the bone. So that's your trade-off. Also, the spit roast chicken is not the same as the just regular roasted chicken. You know, if they show up... Oh, I got this one for sitting. They show up as different satiety,s. Satiety,s? The satiation is different. Here we go. Yeah, so this will show up as spit roast chicken, not roast chicken. Why they felt the need to separate those, I don't know, but that's the way it is. Alright, so our will is 18, which is our current highest. So anything but will we can raise freely, at least up to 18. Hey, look, this gives Dex with a small chance of con. Oh, it didn't give us everything, but as you can see, spit roast chicken is now there. There we go. We got a point of con. Beautiful. All right. Beyond that, let's start getting our stuff for the willow weep. So let's see. We need... Oh, it's showing us additional foodstuffs. Oh, it's just that. Oh, it's the thing I already looked at. First aid, willow weep. So we need our 3 willow bark, and we are of course going to need the jar. So let's grab. I'm going to grab enough for 2 doses. Obviously, I won't be able to make 2 doses in the immediate, but having the second one around is having enough for a second one. I don't know if this is going to. So sometimes the things that go into the clay jars give doses. So it might be like here there are 3 doses of willow weep, or it might just be no, it's 1 willow weep. Use it, and now you're going to have to make more willow weep, which is why I have enough on me to make 2 because I am double blunt traumaed. So if it only is a one-off, then I use it on our 9 blunt trauma, and then go make a second one to use on our 2 blunt trauma. If it's doses, I use 2 doses out of however many it gives us. Simple as. I just don't know. I haven't actually used willow weep before, so... And I definitely haven't made it. Alright, so we're waiting on the cauldron to boil. I do have... No, that is yarrow. Okay. I thought it might have been the stinging nettle, and I was kind of hoping I would have had enough to do something with it, but I guess not. Let's go ahead and put... Oh. What was that? Oh, the clover. Yeah. Don't take the clover in there. Like, what did it grab? It grabbed a 3rd thing. Alright, let's go ahead and look over here, check and make sure. Yeah, see, there's the other clover I found. Those should stack. There we go. I got a couple bones here for some reason. Just kind of seeing if I happen to have another stinging nettle. I don't. If I had a 3rd stinging nettle, I would have grabbed the squirrel hide and scrounged up another piece of string. Is that boiling yet? No. Alright, I will come back when this is boiling, and we will make our willow weep. Alright, I'm back. It's still not boiling, but I've decided to do a little bit of something in the interim to basically waste a little less time. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to grab... let's do... We've got so much rabbit meat. Let's grab 1 rabbit meat. I just want to do 1 of these. We can grab... hazelnuts? Yeah, we'll grab, I think it's 2 hazelnuts. And wherever I put that big old pile of leaves, I need 1. Where did I put that big old pile of leaves? Right over there. 1 leaf, please. Alright, I think that's right, because I didn't check beforehand. Food, wild grub, pit-baked, nut jerky. It is 2 leaves. Okay, I was slightly off. And there's spices, which are optional. That's okay. Alright, 2 leaves. We'll go ahead and craft this. Our pot has begun boiling. We will get to that in a moment. Excellent. We got the XP for crafting. We're going to put this in the kiln. Now, I could put it in the fire pit, but if I don't pay close enough attention, it'll burn. I know that it takes 4 branches worth of fuel. It takes 4 fuel to cook the pit-baked goods. This should, well, let's see. Now, see, those are 13s. All right. If I use this in here, I believe, let's just grab one of these, call it good. All right. Split. Oh, I think I got, yeah, oh, no, woodworms. Interesting. Those are learning points. Okay. Not a lot, but it also doesn't take much either. So, okay. We'll stick those in our thing after we do this. Let's go ahead And put 4 fuel in. All of these are 17s. That's good. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I should be able to light this. Let's go ahead and light it then. Hopefully this works as well. Hopefully our winning streak on this continues. Because if you let things cook like this too long, they will burn and turn to ash, and we don't want that. We want to have ourselves some nice nut jerky. Mainly because we need to be able to restore our energy. So here we go. You can also do it in the oven once it's built, but ultimately the kiln is the best because it has the control of the oven with more space than you even get in a fireplace. So, and more that you get in the oven too. Because the oven only has 8 slots. All right, let's open this guy up, and let's actually. How much does the nut jerky? 500%. Yeah, that's a pretty good restore. All right, back to our first aid. Willow weep. Let's craft 1. There we go. All right, what does it say? 3 doses. Okay, see, I thought it might be doses, and 3 is a common amount. So let's go ahead and use up 2 of our doses. Use up... Hello? Can I treat you? I would like to treat you. Can I... Oh, drink or empty? Is that how you do this one? You know what? Let's go ahead and see. Drink. Oh! Okay. It affected both. Can I drink again and get those numbers up? I can. All right. You know what? Screw it. Let's do our third one. Beautiful. That's good. I like that. I'm curious to see if that is going to completely counter the blunt trauma or not. We'll let that one do its thing. We're going to go ahead and make our second batch since we have our jar back. Like I said, I've never used it before. I've never needed to. All right. I don't believe I have anything else I need to use the cauldron for. You know what? We'll leave it running for just a little bit, just in case. But we're also going to need some additional foods. How are we doing on our things here? I know I've run a little long, but I want to kind of get my energy back up as well. So let's see. Pretty much anything except will, still. I mean, Constitution is not the best because we're only 1 point away, but that's fine. Alright, so I'm going to grab... Squirrel is int. Actually, we don't have a lot of squirrel. Oh, no, I do. I have 2. That's fine. I don't remember what the hedgehog is. We'll do hedgehog as well, though. We'll grab some rabbit. Chicken is dex. That'll do for the moment. I don't know what some of the other stuff does. Alright, so I'm going to come over here, and just like with our regular fire, we should be able to roast meat. And just go craft all. Just give it all to me. I'm going to need all of it, pretty much. What was the hedgehog? Is that also int? Well, that's Constitution. With a small chance of Constitution plus 2. You know what? Whatever, I'll take it. Alright, there we go. We've got that. Let's go ahead and start eating. We're still waiting on our nut jerky to finish, but it should be fine. Alright, so we're going to do that. We're going to do that. We're going to do that. And we're going to do that. Okay. So let's see. Actually, I do want to kind of have this open. Ooh, we're not going to have much in the line of agility, are we? You know what? Whatever. I'm not really eating for the stats at the moment. I am primarily eating for the food. Okay, there we go. That's actually good. We are just about all the way back up. Look at that. With just what a little bit of roast meat will do, as opposed to eating all the random nuts and berries that do barely anything. Alright, I am convinced we don't need this. Let's put this fire out. because it does boil off water over time, so there is that. How is that guy doing? All right, I'm going to come back when the nut jerky is done. We'll eat that, and we'll call it an episode. All right, the kiln has extinguished, and yield nut jerky. Hooray. Boom. And of course, that means we finished the beginning of Firecraft's quest and got something. I don't know what we got, because it was behind the big freaking thing that said the quest complete. So, oh well. We got something. Was it LP? It might have been LP. Yeah, it was probably some LP, because we're up to 1,000 now, and we weren't before, so... Alright, so I think as far as that goes, I'm probably going to get Masonry up to 20, and then I want to start focusing on unarmed combat. Get that up to 20 as well, maybe. Alright, let's eat our nut jerky and wrap this up. So we are currently at 9,496%. The cap is like the 9,999, so the 500 from this won't be going to waste. So let's go ahead and eat the nut jerky. Oh, wait a minute. Let me open up the thing so we can see. Nut jerky. Charisma. Okay. Not bad, not bad. I was hoping for strength, but we got the charisma. That's fine. All right, and we are up to 9,996. So we are just shy of completely full. Excellent. All right. We have made food. We have, made our medicine. And we are prepped to start building an oven next time. We're just going to need a whole bunch of clay to do so. I'm going to see what I can do about gathering some clay in between episodes. And next time we'll probably come and start exploring baked goods, since we have all those wheat seeds to actually use. I should probably plant some too. But that's going to do it for this episode. So, until next time, have a good one.